Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. Today we're going to continue on with Bryan Recommendations Week, which is sort of like the inverse of what we usually do. Usually you guys recommend me some music, and occasionally I'll walk away finding a new band that I love. And I'm kind of hoping to do the same for you guys, where I'll show you some music that I like, and maybe you'll walk away, with a new appreciation for some stuff. Today we are going to be looking at something in the orchestral realm. I kind of want to call this neoclassical. It does share a lot of compositional ideas, but, and here's the thing I think is going to really get some people interested. I feel like this song was written by a metalhead. All right? Uh, it definitely has some of the ideas of nuance and theme and texture layering and stuff, some of the more nuanced things you would find in more classical oriented music. But instead of hiding the cool things in the nuance, a lot of the really cool things that are happening in this track are front and center. All right, so I think it's a good introduction to some more straight symphonic music that maybe doesn't have some of the, because we've listened to some classical metal with classical influence, or even metal with symphonies, and I just think this is a really good sort of bridge between that into traditional symphonic classical kind of stuff. But yeah, this composer is Doyle W. Donehoo. He did the soundtrack for the Dawn of War 2 video game, which is where this track comes from. I almost chose the song Show Me What Passes for Music Among Your Misbegotten Kind, which is a phenomenal 12-minute display of writing craftsmanship. But I went with Khaine's Wrath. It's only 5 minutes long, but I think it's straight and to the point and kind of covers a lot of the things I really enjoy about Doyle's writing for this album, for this soundtrack. Yeah, just phenomenal work. Let's let's get ready for this, because we're going to war. Yeah, some orchestral music you can nod your head to, right? Oh man, just singing over top everything. Sounds so good. bringing the theme back. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I love his work. Everything on that album is just phenomenal, but Kane's Wrath just stands out to me. Um, it has majesty, it has power, it has this control. You can even hear it in a lot of the more legato string instruments. Da, 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 da. And there's this like restrained, almost like coolness to it. Like there's still this power. There's this military heartbeat under everything. Uh, and then of course, just the power, the wrath, that force that embodies the character whose theme this is. Um, but then you have those little legato lines that always show that it characterizes some of his coolness under, well, kind of the cool facade, not necessarily always a facade. He actually does keep his cool quite often. But it's just that little demeanor. This guy's powerful. You don't want to cross his path, but he's also got this cool mask that he wears where he seems like somebody who you can goof around with and play around with and not always take seriously, but you should always take him seriously. All right. So I really like how they put all of that, how Doyle put all of that inside of this track. And I think it's just a really good embodiment of him. It is a beautiful theme of his. And when I said they brought the theme back, which was that opening portion, bum 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 dum dum bum 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 bum, and they brought that back from the beginning. Like, to me, that is his theme. It is regal, it is powerful, it is militant. um that is who he is. And one reason that I wanted to bring this up, yes, it's powerful. The coolness is in the heaviness. It's in like all of the power that's there. It's very metal. All right. But also, when you look beneath the surface, you're going to remember the melody. This song has a very memorable melody. You could probably hum, if you've listened to it a few times, you'll probably be able to hum some of the choir parts or the violin parts, what I would call the lead lines. But if you listen below that, you listen to some of the tuba work or the violins that are kind of underneath some of the more lead sections that don't have as much spotlight to them, you'll actually find it's a heavily riff based song, which, I mean, it does happen in classical. There are instruments who are going to play riffier things like licks, um, but I don't think not so much in the way that this song does. So there's actually, it does share a lot of composition techniques, I think, with rock and metal. Um, and I think that's why, I mean, that's why I wanted to showcase it as my symphonic, classical, orchestral kind of presentation this week. Just because I do feel it can be, I think it's going to be heavily appreciated by metalheads. I don't know. It's a solid track. I love it. And I think even if you don't know who Khaine is inside the Warhammer 40K universe, if you don't know anything about that, you still listen to it. I think it's still a really solid song that makes good use of embellishment, makes good use of theme. It brings ideas back from the beginning and kind of gives them to different instruments, um, and bringing back that theme and variation idea. And it has a really good way of working with dynamics, to show the big bombast areas, but also some smaller areas that are dominated by quieter violins and maybe some flutes. I think I heard. It's actually been a very long time since I've heard this song. I listened to it once before this to kind of prepare for this little analysis bit, kind of remind myself what's going on. I remember a lot of the lead lines, but the nuances and details, I've forgotten. It's been years. Unfortunately, I'm going to re-listen to the soundtrack this week just because I forgot how much I enjoy it. Doyle is a fantastic composer. Um, I've actually had the awesome experience of chatting with him. Back in college, in my music composition courses, I don't remember what year it was, but one of my music comp courses, we were encouraged to contact a favorite composer of ours to kind of get some insight into the process and stuff like that. And Doyle is who I selected. And this was back in, I don't know, 2010, 2011, maybe. I mean, it's a good decade ago. And yeah, he was just really cool about it. I mean, this was before Twitter really took off, as far as I think. I mean, I emailed the dude. Nowadays, if I wanted to contact somebody, I would tweet at them. Easy. That would be my first line of contact. But yeah, I think email is the only way to go about it. But yeah, he was a really cool dude. We chatted for like 5 or 6 messages, and a little bit more even than my assignment was, just because I love his work and I wanted to know more about the process and all that. And he introduced me to the DAWs that he used and some of the hardware that he uses, and we talked about some compositional techniques. Um, so yeah, just a really cool, all around dude. I really hope he's still making music. I need to look into that, actually. Like I said, it's been a long time since I listened to this album, and I kind of forgot about him, unfortunately. So I gotta see if he's done anything since, because he's a solid composer. All right, so that is Doyle W. Donehoo's Khaine's Wrath. This is where you guys, my brain just mushed. This is where you guys come in. Now hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought. If you don't typically listen to symphonic, classical kind of music, is this something you would listen to? And am I right in saying that this has appeal to metal centric listeners? Those are two things I'm kind of interested in. Like I said, I selected it specifically because I think it has appeal, and I'm kind of wanting some feedback on that decision. Um, and if this interests you, check out the rest of the album. Very similar vein of music. Um, it's all he created his own genre name for this. I don't remember what it was. It was like mega epic or something like that. That was the mega epic classical or something. Um, it made me laugh the first time I saw it inside of when I purchased this years ago, and I looked at the because I'm OCD about my tags. Okay, when I put this stuff into a music program, I want album, artist, year. I want it all filled out perfectly. My genres are what I pick. I don't want some algorithm or website telling me what genre it is. It's what I think the genre is. So I dig into the ID3 tags on the MP3s, and when I saw that genre, I remember laughing. It was something like kind of ridiculous, made up, like epic big or epic something, mega epic. I don't know. It was awesome. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought. Though I'll be back tomorrow. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, 9 p.m. UTC as usual with another Bryan Recommends. And just like yesterday, I really hope these are landing with some people. Even if you didn't enjoy them, at least you've been exposed to them now. And that's kind of what music's about. You hear new things, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, well, at least now you know. You know, it's not a guessing game. So yeah, until then, until tomorrow, you guys stay safe out there and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.